Hello, everybody, and welcome to Making Art Public, our series of artist talks. And today we have the wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary Marconi.
Hi.
Hi, Marconi. Hi. So
Hey.
excited to see you. We're so happy to have you
Oh
with us
no, thank you.
today.
Thank you for having me. I mean, congratulations on your new show and
Oh,
being
thank
to be
you.
part of the Public Arts Commission.
Thank you. We all want to know, like, out of all the things on the face of the earth you could be, like, why did you become an artist? Where did you grow up? Tell us the inside scoop, Marconi. We want to know all about you.
Well, I wish I was part of the porn industry, but no, I did not go there that way. But
You don't
but
have to be
okay.
a different kind of artist.
But I still consider it an art, right? But anyway, so yes, if you're gonna ask me, I was actually a full-time journalist way back then. So I was a writer in the Philippines for like 5-10 years, and then I moved to the Northern Mariana Islands, which is a U.S. territory. It's in the Pacific. If you actually know where the Enola Gay was launched to, launch the atomic bomb, that is actually where it is.
Oh,
So it's on one of the
wow.
islands. So it's a U.S. territory. So I was a journalist there for like 5 years, and then I met my love of my life over there, Adam, and then I was doing my art over there too, like for like on the side. I was joining bazaars, arts festivals, and all those creative things. And Adams just said, you know what? Why don't you just focus on your art? And then from then on, major malls on Saipan and Guam kind of like commissioned me to create destination T-shirts with my art on it.
Uh-huh.
And so it was sold there for like so many years. And then my husband moved to San Francisco. So what else do I, have to do but to follow my love and
Art,
dreams,
art.
follow my heart, right? But Saipan was a second home. So I was like kind of like a little sad. But then again, San Francisco, because everyone was like telling me, Marconi, you need to bring your art to the mainland, like San Francisco. And luckily, he was assigned in San Francisco, and we moved there, and I moved my art over there. And that's where I kind of like started. So I started from little cafes, joining art groups in San Francisco until I got represented by a gallery over there.
Oh,
And I started joining group shows, and I had solo shows. And I also was part of this co-op artist group in San Francisco. And then I joined the Artist Guild also in San Francisco. And luckily, there's just so many talented artists here in the US. Oh my God. It's just like, my God, how do you compete with all these amazing artists? But luckily, fortunately, I kind of stood out a little bit, right? So
uh-huh.
because of my passion and my advocacy for the LGBT community, and I focused on that. So that became my subject for my art.
Mhm.
So from equality to bullying to how to say that, marriage equality. So that's what I created. So from then on, I got kind of like noticed in San Francisco for that. So another story, I'm sorry to just keep on talking. So one time, I know Shawnda, my God, I shut you up. Can you believe that? Whoa, Marconi. But anyway, so yeah, so one time, because I made an art of Harvey Milk. So this gallery kind of like displayed it on the window. And then this guy, like visiting San Francisco, who was driving, kind of like parking was not allowed in the front of the gallery. And just said, he told me, oh, Marconi, when I saw your art, I had to stop and buy that painting. It's amazing. So he kind of like defied traffic rules just to get my art. That is amazing.
So what brought you to the Coachella Valley from San Francisco, from the
So,
Philippines to the San
right. I
Francisco
know.
to, I
So
mean,
great questions, darling. Because I followed my heart again. My husband, oh, yeah, my husband got kind of like also tired of the San Francisco vibe, and he kind of like found a job here too. And Palm Springs is he has friends here and who showed him around, and then he really fell in love in this little kitschy town. So, and then he moved here, and then from then on, I was going back and forth to San Francisco because I still have my projects over there. I still have my shows, and then so I would drive back and forth until I found my calling, and it's like, hey, Palm Springs is home now, so I'm happy here. But I still have, kind of like work there. I did my solo show in San Francisco a year and a half ago as well. And I have my heart there, the San Francisco Heart. I did twice. Yeah, so I was one of the lucky, Filipino American artists that were selected to be part of that tradition. So I did this big heart, and they made it their what do you call that? The signature for their merchandise back in that on that year, and then AT&T bought it for full price. So right now, it was displayed at the Union Square for like a year next to Tony Bennett's heart, and then AT&T bought it for like full price, and now it's actually at their executive office in San Francisco by Grant and Kearny Street. So it's close to the Chinatown, so people can still take photos of my heart. Yeah. So now, let me say this, because this has been my line for every time. I literally left my heart in San Francisco, girl.
I love it.
Yes, I had to say it. Yeah.
So tell me, how has COVID-19, the pandemic, the coronavirus affected your business and your business practices? Like, how have you been working? Are you still working? Are you working from home? Are you working in your studio? I mean, explain to us your process. What's been going on with you?
Gosh, I won't pretend, darling. I was just being lazy. It has really affected my drive. And I diverted it to TikTok. So now I'm doing TikTok while I'm just home. But because of you, you kind of like pushed me to create those masks, right? And now people are like ordering now, like, Marconi, I want those masks. I was like, so now I'm kind of like scrambling because I have to get the blank canvas. You know what I mean? And I found this supplier that really does this beautiful, what do you call that, shape on the face. And who knows, we might have a Shawnda Faveau and Marconi collaboration, for the mask, right? Hello.
More art for the world.
Yes, but so going back to your question, it has really affected me. So thankfully, before this craziness happened, I got a great sale of my art, so that kind of like took care of the rents, and and somehow we're surviving at the Backstreet Art District, because you know what, 2 galleries have already shut down because of this craziness. Yeah, but of course another 2 artists are coming in. So. But then it's sad because we are like small artists, and we are affected by this crisis.
Very much so.
Yeah, but now I'm back. I'm creating art again. So yeah.
Now, have you been applying for grants? Have you been going online and finding art grants and public art money to help?
Oh, okay. Was I breaking when I said that I was being lazy, or? No, I have not. But you know what? I should, right? It's like, I don't know, girl. I feel like I'm just having a chit chat with you right now. So, yeah, she might, she can edit that one right now. I'm just kidding.
So,
but yes.
Tell us about some of the artwork, the public arts works that you've created here in Palm Springs. Like, where are some of your art pieces are located that people can go see?
All right. So last year, I did this huge wall for the Transgender Health and Wellness Center in Cathedral City. So this is like a huge wall, and I on my birthday last year, I kind of like raised funds because they don't have money, right? So I raised funds to purchase for the materials, and what's ever left of the money, I gave it to the center. And I was just targeting like $500 for the materials, right? And then lo and behold, I only like spent $300, $400 for that. And I raised $3,000, over $3,000. Yeah, for them. So I gave the extra money to all of them. Yeah. So isn't that amazing? Like, people are really supportive. And for the launch of that wall, they had like over 200 people, for that unveiling. And then I have my other art right now at Bongo Johnny's, by their elevator. So once you're in the patio, you will see my huge, what do you call that, painting on their wall
Mm-hmm.
right now. So I use two of their walls as well. And then I am part of the Coachella Music and Arts Festival. So last year I did this
Oh.
garbage bin
Uh-huh.
that artists turn into an art, to promote recycling during the festival, and of course to promote recycling in California public school system. And then they launched it in LA,
Mm-hmm.
and then they brought all the trash art to Coachella, the festival, and then they donated those bins to schools in California. And this year, I have to, I'm honored again to be part of it. But because of this pandemic, the Coachella Music Festival has been postponed, right? So I finished the art again, and they're going to launch that hopefully in October in LA, and then bring it over to the Coachella Music Festival. So that's the thing. So I really am eager, and I really want to be part of the Palm Springs Public Arts. I want to share my art to the community as well if I'm given the opportunity, because Cathedral City has reached out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and other cities as well. So I said, why not Palm Springs, right? Hello,
Of
I live
course,
here.
of course. We love you. We love you. We want more of your artwork here. And have you done work outside of the LGBT community with children as well?
Yes, yes, yes. I forgot to mention that in San
Yeah.
Francisco. Yeah, I did a month workshop
Uh-huh.
in San Francisco at the Children's Creativity Museum. We had like 100 kids. And then, I'm kind of like known for the mask as well, like not the facial mask, but for the mask.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I taught kids to paint. So from 3-year-old to 12 years old, it was really fun. It's challenging as well. That's why when you mentioned to me about your prospective project about kids, I was like, oh, yeah, I've done that in the past as well. So you don't really expect a lot to kids, but the joy that you bring to their face when they hold a crayon or a brush, and their face lit up, like, oh my God, it's priceless. Yeah.
So tell
But
us,
I'm not into kids, but you know what? They're drawn to me.
but tell us more about this. I mean, tell us more
Yes,
about like
exactly. Yes.
how did this come about?
Right, right. So in 2012, I joined this international competition. It's called the New Era Introducing Global Creative Project. So it
Mm-hmm.
was launched in Canada and the US. And out of thousands of artists that submitted to apply for the competition, only 100 were screened, I mean, selected. And then
Mm-hmm.
out of the 100, they trim it down to 75 who would create the art. And I was one of the lucky 75 artists that were chosen. So, and then out of the 75 entries of the art, they only chose one winner. And guess who was that? It was
Oh,
moi. So it
wow.
was me. So I was so lucky. But because you know what, I when I received that canvas, I
Mm-hmm.
thought of like, what is something what should I be painting on this canvas? And during that time, there were so many kids that were losing their lives because they couldn't take the bullying anymore, so they took their own lives. So that time, 2012, so I said that's closer to my heart. Win or lose, I should create something that would convey the message. So I did that, and then luckily, you know what, they chose my art. So I'm so glad that people are listening, started listening back then, and the conversation started. You know what I mean? And because of that, I pledged. Me and my husband said, I want $10,000 for that. And I said, well, we should use the money also to to create this book for kids, for children about bullying. And we published that book. We published that actually in Hawaii when we were there, and we distributed it to schools. We had our readings in San Francisco public libraries with that book, and then we are continuously donating it to the schools and kids. Yeah, so it's
So
about bullying. So yeah.
so bullying is definitely also on in the same realm of racism. So can you give us a little background of like what kind of experience that you've come across in your artist career with racism and bullying and how that's affected your life, and
Hmm.
how more so, how has art made you heal from those wounds that the bullying
Right, right.
has caused you?
Well, I can say that, I am not an exception to being a victim of bullying, because I'm gay. And growing up, when I was in high school, people would, tease you, because kids, and, but I'll be honest with you, I kind of like, when I was 12, someone was like really harshly bullying me, like, oh, you're gay, and pushing you and all this stuff.
Hmm.
Girl, and I know my me, my personality is like, no one's gonna push me around. So what I did is like, I in front of his friends, I confronted him. I was like, the fuck is your problem? It's like, do you want to kiss? Like, do you want me to kiss you or something? Oh, and he flustered, like turned red, and everyone, his friends are like laughing. I kind of like humiliated him for doing that to me, and that stopped the bullying. And after that, it he started like, being nice, and they kind of like respected me for that. But it's me, because some kids, and most of the kids could not stand for themselves because they're kind of like afraid, or they feel like they're alone, you know what I mean? So, and with that, and being gay as well, I have had friends, that had different stories that kind of like broke our hearts when we learn about their stories. We still have friends who have not come out, because, especially in the Philippines, because it's a cultural thing. Yeah. So, and 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 the workplace.
Hmm.
I remember I had a solo show in San Francisco about, I call it like colors of uh, expression or something. I forgot, but all my pieces were about LGBT equality and anti-bullying. And then there's this guy who was like in tears looking at my art. Mm. And he said, Marconi, I just lost a colleague. A colleague, girl, over 40-year-old, committed suicide for workplace bullying.
Oh my
Isn't
God.
that sad? Right?
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not just about being gay. It's not just about being of a person of being of different color. It happens also in the workplace. Can you believe that? It's like, seriously, it's not about age anymore. It's not being a kid anymore. So it kind of like transcends all ages. So it's really sad. But what's going on in this crazy world right now in this country? Yes, and I did an art tribute for George Floyd as well. I posted on TikTok and on my social media. But because that's me, and I created so many political pieces as well. Just to a quick side story, I was painting something in my studio here in Palm Springs, and it's the outline of the current president right now. And in that outline, I had all those elements of KKK, Nazi symbols,
Hmm.
and the Russian parliament buildings or whatever, and fake news and all those things. And then someone, a parent, like a mother and a son, came in watching me work on it. And then when she saw me working on that, and she looked at me and was like, "How dare you? Why are you doing that?" And she stormed out of the you know my studio. And then the son was so apologetic, like, I'm so sorry for my mom's behavior, blah blah blah. So for me, it's like, no one can stop me for what I want to paint or want to do. If you don't like my art, then get out of my studio, right? And then one time, so I opened my studio. There's a note that kind of like they slipped it in under the door, and the note says, "I'm not comfortable with your art." So I had to like report it to our landlord. It's like, hey, I work here by myself sometimes, and if someone kind of like those Karens and Kevins might be just barging in my studio and be like, But then again, like, and then my landlord says, if they don't like it, if they don't like it, then don't come in. You know what I mean? Don't. So I still have those pieces in my studio. So, I mean, not that piece, because after that incident, in 10 minutes, someone bought my piece.
Wow.
So I know, isn't that crazy? It's like, I think it's good karma. But I still create pieces like that, and it's not gonna stop me. As a matter of fact, I also was involved in this organization in San Francisco. It's called the Organization for Refuge, Asylum, and Migration, that helps, or that has been helping LGBTQ members from Africa, Middle East, that are being persecuted, if not being killed, because of their sexuality, of their genders. So I've done art for them, for their publication. So I donated my art. So I never got anything for that, but because I just want to contribute to the cause. Yeah.
Well, we love you. We thank you for all your controversial causes. We thank you for making us think of art on a deeper level than just
Thank
it
you.
being just beautiful, but it evokes a feeling and an emotion. And we really appreciate and love, and we can't wait for you to contribute more art to our community.
Yay! I can't
Thank you
wait.
so much,
Yeah.
Marconi, for taking the
Thank
time to
you.
talk to me
I
today.
know. I'm sorry I talked too much too.
No, it's perfectly fine.
I
And
was
you
like,
have
you and me.
a
Oh my
website,
God.
right? You have a
What's that?
website for your art,
Yes,
and
I
you're also
do.
on the artist directory too for the
Right
public art.
now. Yay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's www.marconicalindas.com.
And
That's it.
and you also have an art studio. Just is it
It's
it
at the Backstreet Art. Yeah, it's in Palm Springs. It's the Backstreet Art District, across Parker Hotel, behind the Estate Stale. Yes, it's Palm Springs zip code still.
and will art walks continue to happen over there
We
or
don't have a go signal yet. We don't have a word yet, but hopefully next month we can. But hey, but some of the galleries right now are accepting visitors, but with proper mask and restrictions. So yeah.
will continue making your mask. I'm so happy that I inspired
Thank
you to do
you. I
that and
know.
to create more beautiful art. Thank you so much for talking with us
I
today.
know. You're welcome. But thank you too for having
We
me.
can't wait to see more public art that you're going to, so stay tuned, everybody. More Marconi arts
Yeah, I
coming
hope
from
so.
Spring.
Thank you. Thank you, PS Public Arts Commission. Thank you, Shawnda.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.